William George Drummond Stewart VC was a Scottish recipient of the Victoria Cross, the highest and most prestigious award for gallantry in the face of the enemy that can be awarded to British and Commonwealth forces. Captain Stewart was an officer of remarkable coolness in action, nothing ever appearing to disturb his equanimity in the very slightest degree. Crimean War. George Stewart was the son of Captain Sir William Drummond Stewart, 19th Laird of Grantley and 7th Baronet of Merthley, and his wife Maria Christina. He was born in February 1831 in Grantley, Perthshire. He entered the army on the 2nd of June 1847 as an ensign in the 93rd Sutherland Highlanders. After 4 years' home service, he attained his promotion as lieutenant, becoming a captain 2 years later on the 29th of December 1854. In February 1854, on the outbreak of war with Russia, the 93rd Highlanders embarked for the Crimea, where they were destined to see much fighting and to win great renown. Stewart was present at the Battle of Alma on the 20th of September that year, when the 93rd, as part of the Highland Brigade, 1st Division, stormed the great Russian battery on the Alma Heights with the other Highland regiments and foot guards. He was also present at the Battle of Balaclava a month later on the 25th of October, where the 93rd alone formed the now famous Thin Red Line, which, unsupported, repulsed the charge of a large body of the enemy's cavalry, and thereby prevented a direct assault on the port of Balaclava. He also served in the siege of Sevastopol through the winter of 1854. He was wounded in the trenches above the besieged port, and remained in the Crimea until July 1856, when his regiment returned to England. For his services in the campaign, Stewart received the Crimean Medal with clasp for Alma, Balaclava and Sebastopol, the Turkish Medal and the Order of the Mejidi. Indian Mutiny. The following summer found the 93rd on its way to India, where the laurels gained in the Crimea were to be more than doubled. The regiment reached Calcutta in September 1857, just in time to join Sir Colin Campbell's advance to relieve the siege of Lucknow. The heroic achievements of Sir Colin's few forces are now matters of history. Foremost among them stand the operations of the 16th of November, the capture of the Secunderabad and the Shah Najaf, deeds with which the name of the 93rd will ever be associated. While the artillery was being brought to bear on the Secunderabad, Captain Stewart, with some Highlanders and a few of the 53rd Regiment of Foot, advanced towards 2 of the enemy's guns, which were maintaining a heavy flanking fire and which covered the approach to the barracks, a large cross-shaped building surrounded by outhouses. Stewart captured the guns in a most gallant manner, and by this means his force was able to gain possession of the barracks. Field Marshal Lord Roberts described the action as serviceable as it was heroic, for it silenced the fire most destructive to the attacking force. The possession of this building secured the left of the British advance, and greatly facilitated the ultimate withdrawal of the garrison of Lucknow. Stewart, perceiving the annoyance which these 2 guns were causing, and the injury that they might still cause, called upon his company, and at the head of it, increased in weight and numbers by a few men of the other companies, and of the 53rd, who had joined our men, dashed forward in the most gallant style, captured the guns at the point of the bayonet, turned the guns on the flying rebels, and then, pushing forward at the double, while Captain Cornwall, with his company and the men of other companies, followed in support, assaulted the large pile of building called the barracks, situated in the left front of the Secunderabad, drove the enemy out, and established themselves in it. Stewart was 26 years old, and a captain in the 93rd Highlanders when he was awarded the Victoria Cross for his above actions at Lucknow. He was gazetted gazetted on 24 December 1858, and his citation read, "For distinguished personal gallantry at Lucknow on 16 November 1857, in leading an attack upon and capturing 2 guns, by which the position of the mess house was secured, elected by the officers of the regiment. 6 Victoria Crosses in all were bestowed on the 93rd Highlanders for the gallantry on 16 November, but Sir Colin Campbell decided, perhaps fearing that he might be accused of partiality, that only one of these should be given to the officers. Votes were taken and Captain Stewart was chosen by his brother officers to receive the much-prized honour. A total of 18 Victoria Crosses were awarded to British forces at Lucknow on 16 November 1857, the largest number ever awarded in a single day. After the withdrawal of the Lucknow garrison, Sir Colin's army was hurried back to Cawnpore. Stewart took part in the great battle which ensued there on 6 December. His regiment was in the thick of the fighting, and 2 days later, it formed part of the force under Sir Hope Grant. It completed the destruction of the Gwalior rebels as they were attempting to cross the Ganges at Ouda. After 2 months of minor operations, the 93rd fought its way into Lucknow under Sir Colin Campbell, and distinguished itself as on the previous occasion. Stewart took part in the storming of the Mogham's Palace on the 11th of March 1858, and, with characteristic daring, led a small party beyond the building in pursuit of the mutineers. With Lucknow captured, the 93rd was sent into Rohilkhand, and under Brigadier General Walpole, helped to defeat the enemy at Aliganj, and fought under Sir Colin Campbell at Bareilly. The regiment remained throughout the hot weather. In the following winter, it took part in the pacification of Ouda, which was finally accomplished by the beginning of 1859. For his services in this campaign, besides the Victoria Cross, Captain Stewart received the Mutiny Medal with clasp for Lucknow. William Stewart was promoted major but left the army in 1860. On 19 October 1868, while at Hythe, Hampshire, Stewart was giving a demonstration of sword swallowing. His trick went fatally wrong and he died from internal injuries a week later. On 26 October, William Stewart predeceased his father. Bibliography: The Journal of the Victoria Cross Society, 150th Indian Mutiny Anniversary Edition, October 2007. Monuments to Courage. The Register of the Victoria Cross. Scotland's Forgotten Valour. Military History of Perthshire. Historical Records of the 93rd Sutherland Highlanders and recipient the 93rd Sutherland Highlanders. History of the 93rd Sutherland Highlanders 1800 to 1895. Records of service and campaigning in many lands. Reminiscences of military service with the 93rd Sutherland Highlanders. Reminiscences of the Great Mutiny 1857–59. Recollections of a Highland Subaltern. Fighting Highlanders. The history of the Argyll and Amp Sutherland Highlanders. Famous regiments. The Argyll and Sutherland Highlanders. The Scottish Regiments 1633–1987. The Scottish Soldier. Soldiers of Scotland. The Highland Brigade in the Crimea. Argyll and Sutherland Highlanders.